It's by the grace of God that a bullet missed me. Not gonna lie, I literally looked at him.
A Virginia community is in shock and grieving following a deadly mass shooting at a Walmart. In 2 minutes, the very latest on the investigation.
And it's all hands on deck for TSA officers as millions of people travel for Thanksgiving. How they're keeping everyone safe.
Well, we are expecting a bit of a soggy forecast for your Thanksgiving. Coming up, I have the latest check of that forecast, what it's looking like heading into the weekend as well, and if we can see any more rain in our near future coming up.
Plus, a mother is giving thanks that her 8-year-old's life-threatening infection was caught early. At 6:08, the warning signs to watch out for.
Now, Wake Up Central with Karen Fuller, Hayden Balgavy, and meteorologist Scott Covert.
And time now 6 a.m. Thank you for watching Wake Up Central.
Well, with your turkey, you're not just getting a side of dressing, you're not just getting a side of cranberry sauce, you're getting a side of rain today. Just FYI.
Serving up some rain for your forecast today. I mean, I promise it's not my fault, but
We know.
it's okay. Hopefully, you know how you mentioned there's lots of flag football.
Oh, yeah.
People like to do that.
Just play inside.
Yeah, just stay inside.
Get the Nerf instead of the rain.
That's the way to do it.
Perfect napping
Yeah.
weather after, having a big meal, you know.
You don't have to tell us about napping.
T-minus 4 hours.
I know,
Krause, is
I'm
what I gotta
counting
tell
it
you.
down. But yeah, we have lots of rain for us today. And here's a live look at what we're seeing on the radar right now. Many of us waking up to those rain showers this morning. Here's a live look actually outside, and actually heard it coming down here earlier in the studio. It's going to be a little bit of a soggy Thanksgiving, but a live look at your radars, mainly in west and northern Arkansas. It's about to approach southeast Arkansas. You guys are going to start to see rain. It's at your doorstep in Pine Bluff. Fordyce, not there quite yet. You started to see possibly a few raindrops there. Camden right at your doorstep as well. You're seeing rain in Ralston, Sheridan, all the way here in the metro near Lonoke as well. It will be widespread all throughout the morning. Tapering off though the further we head into the afternoon and evening hours, so it won't be lasting for the entire day but for most of the day. It's going to keep us cool. Temperatures are already off to a cool start, low 50s to upper 40s, with highs barely any warmer in the low to mid 50s for today. So a full check of your holiday forecast is coming up.
In a THV 11 update, employees of a Virginia Walmart were preparing for a quiet night on the overnight shift when gunfire erupted in the break room before spilling out to the rest of the store.
6 people killed, including a 16-year-old boy. 7 others hurt, some in critical condition. Skylar Henry reports from Chesapeake, Virginia.
This Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia is the latest scene of a mass shooting after a store manager opened fire Tuesday night.
Literally was just doing like this. He was not aiming at anybody specific.
Employee Brianna Tyler first thought it was an active shooter drill, caught off guard that it was her own boss.
It is by the grace of God that a bullet missed me. I saw the smoke leaving the gun, and I literally watched bodies drop.
Several of Tyler's co-workers were among those killed, including 22-year-old Tynika Johnson.
What are we supposed to tell her little brother and sister? How are we supposed to explain to them that she went to work and she didn't come home?
This Walmart will be closed for the next few days while investigators collect evidence and search for a motive.
The suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Police say the gunman, 31-year-old Andre Bing, was armed with a handgun and multiple magazines.
The response from the Chesapeake Police Department was extraordinary last night.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin says now isn't the time to talk about gun control.
This is a discussion we should have on a day when we've gathered all the facts and we know that we have got families supported.
This is the second high-profile shooting in the state this month after a gunman killed 3 people at the University of Virginia. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Chesapeake, Virginia.
In a statement, Bentonville-based Walmart described the suspect as an overnight team leader who had worked there since 2010. CEO Doug McMillan calls the shooting devastating, offering the company support to not only their workers, but to the community of Chesapeake.
26 million people have applied for the student loan debt relief program President Biden announced in August, but the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals has put that program on hold, prompting the Biden administration to appeal the case.
We're not going to back down, though, in our fight to give families breathing room. That's why the Department of Justice is asking the Supreme Court of the United States to rule on the case.
Now he's once again taking another step to give borrowers more time before they have to start making payments once again. He's extending the pause on student loan payments until 60 days after a lawsuit is resolved, or 60 days after June 30th, whichever comes first. The states filed their response to the Supreme Court yesterday, and now the justices must decide whether to hear arguments in that case.
AAA estimates nearly 5 million people are flying by air for Thanksgiving. As you can imagine, TSA officers have their hands full. Little Rock TSA officers say they have enough staff to meet the needs of the traveling public. Training is also a big and continuous item for the organization. A TSA spokesperson saying they're constantly working to be sure staff knows how to use the technology that is designed to keep travelers out of harm's way.
We have a unit at headquarters that all they do is look at new technology and see how we can apply it to the greater transportation system.
The busiest times to travel during a holiday, this is at least at Clinton National, is between 5 and 10 in the morning. Everybody wanting to get out and get to their destinations. Black Friday has long been the unofficial kickoff to the holiday shopping season.
Now this year sales are expected to hit at least $942 billion. That is up 6% from last year. But with online shopping and earlier sales, does Black Friday still hold the same power as years ago?
The overnight waits, the doorbuster deals, and sometimes more than just a few sharp elbows. Look at this crowd. They could be a thing of the past.
Consumer shopping has changed significantly since the pandemic. A lot fewer of us are willing to go to the stores on Black Friday and battle people and use our elbows. That retailers are more willing to allow us to shop over a longer period of time.
Excess inventory left over from the pandemic is also moving up those holiday sales. And a lot of retailers will bring more discounts as we get closer to the big day after today, which will be tomorrow.
They also say if there's something you have your eye on and you really want it, you go for it on Black Friday before it's hard to find.
Some of the marketing is about getting you to get out there and want that item. So maybe the fights, maybe this is a good thing.
I understand the rush and the adrenaline, the excitement.
Yes.
It's not for me.
No, same. It's better to just stay home and wait till there isn't a crowd.
I'll pay
if
the
you
extra
don't get the
cash
gift.
to be able to sleep in. I'll
You
say
bet.
that.
And also, if the person receiving it, they can live without it for a while. Meantime, Thanksgiving has extra special meaning for a family after their 8-year-old nearly died from what began as a routine infection.
Michael George spoke with them about the warning signs they caught early.
When Janine Geiser's 8-year-old son Chase came home sick from school, it didn't seem serious.
He said that his tummy hurt and his head hurt. I just assumed that he had the stomach bug that was going around at that time.
But that night, Chase's fever shot up to 104. Janine rushed him to the hospital, where doctors learned he had sinusitis, and the infection had already spread to his brain.
It was terrifying because he had no idea what was going on. They said that they were sending in a neuro team because they needed to rush him in for emergency brain surgery because the infection had taken over his brain.
I feel Chase's case was the worst one that I've seen, the most severe.
Dr. Jared Pisapia from Maria Ferreri Children's Hospital says it's extremely rare. Estimates show every year there are about 3 cases of intracranial infection per million children in the U.S. associated with sinus or ear infection. He credits Janine for recognizing the warning signs early.
The warning signs to look for would be seizure activity, weakness, and a change in level of consciousness.
After a month in the hospital and multiple surgeries, Chase is recovering well and back to playing with his brother.
He almost has a clean bill of health, and he is acting like a normal 8-year-old little boy again.
Janine and her family are giving thanks to Chase's doctors and nurses, and they're thankful they took action quickly. Michael George, CBS News, Beacon, New York.
And now, 6 months following his surgery, Chase is still in physical therapy, but doctors say he's showing no signs of long-term health issues.
All right, Corrales, what's the one thing we need to know about the weather today?
Hey, we can always be thankful for some rain. You know how dry it's been for us here over the last several months. Plenty of rain we'll be seeing for today for sure. Here's a look at what we're expecting for today. It's going to keep us on the cooler end of things, highs mainly in the low to mid 50s pretty much for the entire state. Everybody has a fair chance of seeing some wet weather today. I'll let you know when that could come to an end and how your holiday weekend is looking like as well coming up.
Also still ahead, there is talk online of a mandatory kill switch being put in our cars in just a few years to keep drivers from hurting themselves or others. In 7 minutes, we'll verify whether that's true or not.
And another interest rate hike could be coming our way very soon. We'll tell you what that could mean to you coming up in 2 minutes on your morning wake-up call. It is 6:10 on your Thanksgiving morning. It's a wet one out there, so be careful if you have to travel today. Wake Up Central back in just 2 minutes.